Oh no. Oh no. I just did the worst thing ever. The worst thing a YouTuber could possibly do. I sighed at the beginning of the video because I'm going to be talking about something serious and I'm upset. Oh, I'm about to go on a rant about why Halo Infinite is bad and I'm disappointed in Bungie or Xbox or whoever the fuck makes games. And I'm gonna be doing poorly acted skits to express my frustration. I'm just making fun of Angry Joe show at this point. I want to talk about things and I'm not entirely sure how to go about them. And I've wanted to talk about this for a while, I suppose. But obviously, I was going to wait for the new year because that's when I don't know. It's like a year gives you a new year, gives you like a reset. It lets you just like restart on whatever ambitions you had, I suppose. I don't know why, but that's just how it is. That's how it works. Uh, I guess I want to talk about where I'm at right now and what I want to be doing in this new year and really just going forward in general because I need to change the way I live my life. I need to change what I'm doing day to day or even moment to moment because if I don't, I'm going to throw myself off a fucking bridge. That's not even me being just trying to be edgy. That's just how I feel. And I've always felt that way, generally, because it's just. I've never been able to enjoy life, I guess. And I'm always upset. And I'm always frustrated. And the thing is, I've I spent a few years just being like sad and gloomy, but last year it's like that changed into just outright bitterness. Like I'm still as gloomy as ever, but I'm also just purely angry and frustrated because it's like I've had this awakening over the last couple of years where I've come to realize that although I could have done things better in my life, I just exist in a world that is completely hostile to me and to many other people as well, which is why I started to realize this because I've always been a very passive person. I've always just accepted whatever happens to me or whatever happens around me because I don't know how to live a life other than my own. So whatever I experience, I just assume this is just how things are. And it's only been recently where I started to realize, oh, actually, that's not how it is for other people. Some people got to enjoy their childhood. Some people got some things that they wanted in their life. Some people grew up surrounded or at least with or having access to some people that understood them and were willing to help them and even if whether they had problems or not, does that make sense? Whatever. But no, in the last couple of years I've just come to realize that we live in this absolute terrible nightmare world, and again I accepted that for a bit, but it's like it's not how it should be, and maybe I do deserve better. Maybe things have just been maybe I have been wronged in some ways, and I really just didn't deserve this because I've done what I was told to do. I was done what was required and expected of me. I graduated high school. I didn't want to, but I did, and I'm glad I did. I didn't do, like, well, but I graduated. And immediately after that, I got a job. I got a regular job, and I stuck with that job. And 2 years later, I got promoted to full time. And I would say that that year, the year that it happened, was probably the one, like, decent point of my life where I can actually look back and feel satisfied about it. And one of the reasons is because of this, because I got my full time promotion. It was nice thinking, wow, I'm 20 years old and I already have a full time job. Like, I'm set. I'm set. I'm good to go. And 5 years later, I have nothing to show for it except fatigue. Like, I'm still exactly where I was 5 years ago. I haven't made any progress in life whatsoever. And I am so physically tired that most nights I drive into work falling asleep at the wheel. Like, I'm almost positive that unless I really start to work on sleeping more, that I will just die in a car accident, because it's the way things are now. It's like it gets worse and worse. I'm just completely exhausted every single day, moment to moment, and I'm 26 years old. It's like why do I feel so terrible at such a when I should be entering my physical prime? And it's because I work a 40-hour job, which isn't really a 40-hour job, because working is not just, like it's 40 hours in the sense that you're on the clock for 40 hours, but it's not like you just are working at some random point. Like, you have to physically and mentally prepare for it. You have to travel for it. So it's really like 50 or 60 hours. And I have absolutely no money, because it turns out working $13 an hour, getting $13 an hour, is useless. It's fucking useless. So even though I have a full-time job, it's like there's nothing to show for it, because I just can't do anything. Like, I literally can't do anything because I don't make enough money. I make enough money to get by day to day, but if my car breaks down and I can't drive it anymore, I'm fucked. There's literally nothing I can do because I don't have any money. And you might say, well, then save up money. I don't make enough money to save up money. I can't save shit. I mean, technically, maybe I could, I could stop buying fast food and Pokemon cards, but I do those because that's the only way I get to slightly enjoy life. So yeah, maybe I could put aside $20 every month. Well, that's gonna help a lot. And I feel like there are other things wrong with me, both physically and mentally, but I'm usually just too afraid to go anywhere and do anything about it, because seeing a doctor costs $200, because I live in a country that is free and also apparently great. Why is it like this? Like, why? Like I told you, I used to accept that. I came to, like, I just assumed, well, that's just how things are. But then I see everyone else around me suffering and miserable and exhausted. And it's like, no, this isn't how things should be. Something actually is wrong. And I really wish that I wasn't a part of it. I've come to realize in the last year, for as suicidal as I may seem sometimes, it's not that I actually want to die. It's that I wish I never lived in the first place. Which I know is the most edgelordy thing that I could say. But really, I wish I didn't exist. Like, I really genuinely wish that I was not here and that I never existed. Because my entire life, the world has only gotten worse, basically. Like, I have pretty much very, very few memories before 9/11. And before 9/11, you could say that things were all right, that things were acceptable, that you could start a family, that you could get by on a low paying job. So it's not like I should get mad at my parents or anything for having me, because, you know, they if anything, they did the right thing. They got out of the big city and moved into some place that was small but growing and would turn out to be fairly prosperous. Prosperous? Is that? Yeah. I was thinking of phosphorus or phosphophylite. Whatever. No jokes. No jokes. This is a serious talk, guys. I'm trying. Yeah. It's so sad. I'm so. So yeah, it's not my parents' fault or anything. They had me at a fairly good time. Who would have predicted that in 6 years the world would end and everything would just slowly be taken away from everyone and everything? You know? It's not their fault. But that's just how it is for me. It's like I only grew up to see the world decay and continue to decay to this very day. And then you've got the pandemic, then you've got coronavirus, which just made everything worse. Even in a time, even though I actually work in a grocery store, my line of work, if nothing else, was more successful because of the pandemic. And there was a temporary sort of reprieve that I got out of that. I got, you know, maybe an extra $1,000 or $2,000, not even including the stimulus, which, hooray, I got another couple $1,000 from that for that. So yippee, I finally got a computer, and thank God I did that in 2020, because if not, I would be fucking screwed, because no way would my laptop do anything that I need to do. My laptop's practically broken now. You can hardly get that thing to turn on nowadays. So, anyway, that was off topic. But, yeah, remember when the pandemic started and people were actually positive and hopeful that, oh, wow, this is going to sort out, this is gonna make things better. It's going to be the great equalizer. You know, finally, the working class will get what's theirs. They'll get what they deserve. And no. That didn't happen. Maybe for some people like me, it got slightly better, but yeah, no. And now, and then suddenly in 2021, everything went up by $2. So, great, wonderful. I feel so free. I feel so fulfilled in a wonderful economic system. Really. Like, I wish I didn't have to live through this. I really genuinely didn't. Generally don't. Whatever. I'm not good with words sometimes. See, that's another thing. I feel like I have this mental tick that just... It's like sometimes my senses just don't work properly. Like, I'll talk to someone in real life, and it's like I will open my mouth and then just like literal gibberish comes out. Like I am literally physically unable to say what I want. And I'd like to go see someone to see me, like, hey, maybe, I don't know, maybe something's wrong there. But again, fucking can't, because I have no idea where to even start. And if, who knows how much money it costs. I don't have that money. I definitely feel like I have ADHD because I can literally look up a list of things. Like, let's just look up things that, you know, define ADHD. Now, I'm not saying I have ADHD. I don't believe in self-diagnosis. I think, at least for mental illnesses or conditions, because that's dangerous. I don't fuck with that. ADHD symptoms. Being unable to sit still. Yeah, I mean, I can, but then every like few minutes I feel like I need to shift positions, constantly fidgeting, whatever. Being unable to concentrate on tasks, usually. Excessive physical movement, sometimes. Yeah, anxiety disorder. Yeah, sometimes I will literally, if something goes slightly wrong, I will literally stress about it to the point where I cannot sleep. Literally. Depression, big one, but I'm depressed about a lot of things, so who knows. Trouble multitasking, definitely. Poor planning, definitely. Low frustration tolerance, definitely. Excessive activity or restlessness, maybe, if not for the fact that I was physically exhausted all the time. Poor time management skills, definitely. Disorganization and problems prioritizing, definitely. Impulsiveness, definitely. Problems focusing on a task, definitely. So yeah, those are all things. And there are more. I remember just seeing a post a while ago that's like, oh, if you have like some or a lot of these different things, and you probably have ADHD. And then I just like look at this list and it's like, oh, yeah, I have like all of those. And so it just makes me unable to do some of the things that I actually want to do. And that's definitely one thing I need to be changing in 2022, just going forward, because like I said, I cannot continue working my normal job and get anywhere in life. I thought, like 5 years ago, I thought I would be so much better off in the future. Like I really thought that in 5 years, back in 2016, like I would be this established person online, that I would be successful and I would have something to show for it. I don't even really know what it is necessarily that I'm working towards, honestly. I think if nothing else, I just wish I could enjoy life, because like I said earlier, that's something that I've never really been able to do. I've just never been able to enjoy myself. And I don't know. So I guess what I just want to do is I just wish I could engage with my own hobbies more. I guess, if that makes any sense. It probably does. Maybe it doesn't, though. I don't know what I'm saying. See, this is what I'm fucking talking about. It's like I don't even fucking know how to organize my thoughts all the time. Plus, the fact that I'm just exhausted all the time only makes it worse. So, it's like I'm literally just sitting here, just like, where am I even going with this, and what do I want to say, and how do I communicate it properly? And not only do I how do not only that, but how do I make it worth listening to? Because I guess I'm presenting it to people, but then again, this is not a channel where I expect anyone to care. This is not a channel where I'm putting effort into it. So if you want to stop listening to it, you're really not hurting my feelings, honestly. I'm only putting this out there so it could exist, I guess. So that I don't have to think about it more than I already do, I suppose. So what I really want to do in 2022 is just engage with my hobbies more and actually really make some creative content again. Like I never say that I used to make videos. Well, maybe I do. I have no idea. But I don't like saying that I used to make videos, because it's like that would imply that there was a permanent stop to it. That like I'll never make videos again. And I always have wanted to make videos. Even when I was making videos, I wanted to make more videos than I already was. But I really do want to be making stuff again. And I did have a good reason for it not. The reason why I stopped, I'll say, the reason why I stopped in 2020 is because my computer, which is a laptop that I still have, just had this massive performance drop because I never updated my Windows. But then there was this huge security leak that literally the NSA had to come out and say, and like they had to help Microsoft fix it because it was just such a huge deal that it compromised literally everyone and everything or something. So it became like a mandatory thing that everybody had to update their Windows or they'd be at risk of exposing themselves to this or what the fuck ever. So I updated my Windows for the first time in like 2 years. And apparently, with all those updates, for some reason, it just fucked with my computer in such a way where it was never the same. And so I'd be editing podcasts in Vegas like I always have been, and like Vegas would just crash at anything. Like if I hit the space bar to press play a couple of times, if I did that too quickly, crash. If I'm trying to do more than one thing at a time, crash. If I let the video if I let the video play for too long, crash. It's just like or it would just crash for no reason. It would just be impossible to interact with anymore, and it became infuriating to use. So I only kept using Vegas for whatever I needed to do for the podcast, just to essentially do a bare minimum for myself and for others. But that I did not want to actually edit anymore. So that's why I didn't make any more videos after the Araburu thing. And so, of course, my plan was to start editing with a new computer, which I did get in 2020, but I didn't get it working until a bit later, and I didn't really start like regularly using until Christmas of that year for stupid ass reasons that we don't need to get into because it's not important or anything. But then this year I did want to get back to making videos, and I just simply didn't, because kind of like what I was talking about with the ADHD shit, like I will just let time go. It's like time will just pass and I'll have no idea, because it's like I'll come home from work and think, oh, I'm gonna like watch a video or just like play a game for a little bit just to like reset myself mentally so that I could be in a better spot or something. But then it's like it comes to like 12 o'clock and now I need to go to bed because I'm too tired to do anything else or something like that. Or just in general, like if I do think, okay, I should be making stuff now, like I should script out a video or something, it's like, well, I'm too tired to even think about anything creatively, you know? I was at least able to prove that I still can work on stuff, which is why if you see my tweets when I edit, like I'll say that I have been editing for like 12 hours straight, and that I'll just go days without sleeping. Like I will literally just not sleep for like 36 hours because I was busy editing a podcast, because I had to do it all in like one sitting because I procrastinated on it too long. But at least I proved that I can still do it, that I still can work on stuff, if that's worth anything. So it's not like I'm not motivated to be doing this. It's just usually I just don't have the mental faculties for it a lot of the time. Or again, I'll just be caught up in doing something else, whether or not it's something I even want to do. You know? Like I said, I'll come home and I'll think, oh, I want to play a video game. because that's fun. Video games are fun, right? And what I'll do is I'll play something online because it's like, oh, I'll start an online match of Pokemon Unite, or I got into the trading card game. I'll play PTCGO, or even before I really had this, even when I was making stuff, I would come home and play Apex Legends because it's like, yeah, I'll play like a couple of games and I'll have fun with it. But then it's like, I I've really come to realize that competitive video games completely ruin my life, and I should stop engaging with them completely because they don't do me any good. Because it's like I said, on paper they seem really fun, but then I get frustrated because I lost for dumb reasons, or it's like I mean, I could go into several different rants about different things, but like Pokemon Unite, for example, is a game where you need to cooperate with people, but then you get put into a team where no one else knows how to play the game, so no one cooperates, and then you get curb stomped for 10 minutes straight, and it doesn't feel good, and then I get angry, and then I think, okay, well, that was just like a one time thing. Like, surely it won't be worse the next time or something, and it's like, it gets tilting. And then even if something does work out well, you get like incentives, you get rewards for playing more. So then you think, okay, I need to win. Like, you'll get daily missions where it'll tell you, okay, win 2 games today, and then you'll get you'll get special currency or whatever. And it's like, yeah, I need this because I need to get the other characters that I can unlock. So I just need to win 2 games. That shouldn't be hard. And then you lose 5 in a row because of dumb bullshit, like I said, and then it gets frustrating, and then suddenly you've been playing the game for 2 hours. And that's how it usually is for me. And I know this is like a weird boomerish rant where I'm like, oh, video games are the devil. But I really do spend way too much time on just completely trivial, meaningless things like this that just don't fulfill me in any sort of way. Even though there's a reason to believe that they will, that I would like, like I would like these things to be better. But yeah, I just need to stop with that. I just need to I feel like what I need to be doing in 2022 is I need to cut down on anything that doesn't like actively help me, or help me accomplish my goals or whatever, like if I'm playing a game, then I really want to be playing it for some reason other than because, like, I don't know, like I'm just sitting down and turning my brain off for something. Like, I need to be playing games with a story that people will give a shit and talk about. Like I have so many games in my Steam library and on my PS4. Back when I got my PS4 for Christmas in 2018, I got like 10 games for it and I never played them. Like, I used my PS4 to play Kingdom Hearts 3 and then eventually The Last of Us Part 2, which was fucking terrible. And then other than that, it was like an Apex Legends machine. That's basically it. And now I can play games on my computer, and I have so much shit on my Steam. I have been gifted games on Steam. Like, I have games sitting here that were gifts from, like, because my friend Angst just wanted me to play them, and I've completely ignored them. And it's like, that's not right. It doesn't feel right. Because instead I spend like 600 hours playing PTCGO, the Pokemon trading card game online. Because, it can be fun sometimes. It can be a fun hobby, but is it really what I want? Things like that. I don't know. I I need to be in control of my life more. is what I really need to be doing. Because, like I said, I've always been a very passive person, and I've just kind of accepted whatever. But it's just I need to be doing what's right for me, and I just need to be bettering myself. Like this year, I need to be better in every single way. It's a simple goal on paper. I feel everyone is trying to do that or should be trying to do that, right? Obviously, you need to be bettering yourself, but like there are specific ways that I can be better. Who knows? Maybe I won't be a better person because something that I don't like at all is talking to people. And so sometimes people will just talk to me, and it's like I don't want to talk to them. There's no one. If you're listening to this, you're probably not that. I just want to say that. I don't want anyone to think that they shouldn't be talking to me or something like that. I shouldn't have said that. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. Like I said, I don't even fucking know where I'm going with this or what I'm talking about. Hell, I just looked over at my desk and I just realized I have Neo, The World Ends With You. You know, my favorite game of all time has a fucking sequel, and I still haven't played it because I've just been doing other dumbass shit that I don't need to be doing or even don't really want to be doing. Yeah, I just need more control over what it is that I want to be doing. Things that can help me. Things that are just better for me. I just need that for myself, I guess. Like I sort of had this episode back in like May, I think this was. No idea when specifically. Sometime in the spring. Where my dad went to visit his dad, my grandfather, my pop. And like he invited me along. Some months before this, like he just basically said, like, "Hey, you want to go down to your grandfather's with me on like this particular week?" And I just said sure, just unthinkingly because it was just sprung up on me. And it's like on paper, yeah, you go and see your relatives when you have the chance, right? But then as this sort of thing dawned closer, it's like when we got into that month where it was supposed to be happening, I just realized that I had like agreed to this retreat that I didn't actually want. And so it's like I'm suddenly thinking about how I'm going to be spending a week not really in the middle of nowhere, but like away from home, away from everything that I have, and I'm just going to be doing nothing. All because it's nice to see your relatives and they'd be because they would be happy to see me, basically. Right? That was it. Like that it wasn't. And not only that, but this is vacation that I'm taking from work, my job that I actively hate and actively exhausts me, my precious time off that I don't get to spend a lot of. You know, now it's going into this thing that I don't even want to do. And so it like I practically had a mental breakdown thinking about this because I was so frustrated that I'm like that once again I'm just being like thrown around and I'm not doing what I want and I don't have control over what I want. Fortunately, this breaking point allowed me to back out of it, so I didn't have to go do this. And so when I had this week of vacation, I stayed at home and I played The World Ends With You for half the week. I would literally I swear, I spent 3 or 4 days just in my room, in my house. I would like sleep and then wake up and then play this game that I've already played like 6 times and then go back to sleep. And that was half of a week for me. And it was amazing because for the first time like ever, I got to do something that I just wanted. It was like I just had this time to myself. And I didn't have to worry about anything. I didn't have to think about work or what I need to be doing next, or I didn't even have podcast work, which I enjoy the podcast work. That's fine. But another thing, I talked about how I have all these anime that I started watching because I wanted to, and it's not like I stopped wanting to watch them, but I just never did. I never finished them. It's like, the fuck's up with that? You know? And part of that is like, again, because I don't have great time management, but also because it's like I feel like I just need to be presenting myself in some sort of way. Like, I don't know, like I need to be watching something so I can make funny tweets about it. Which, like, that in and of itself is fun. You know, I enjoy doing my like drunk watches where I just where I just like spend a night watching some stupid ass anime like Elfen Lied, and then just like joking about it online. Like, that is fun, but then it's like I feel like I need to be doing that for everything. It's like everything needs to have some sort of point to it. And so it's like I can't watch anime because it's like I'm not in a position where I can be fully engaged with it. And if and I usually just can't get into that state because, again, I'm just fucking exhausted or something. I don't know, man. I have no idea if any of this made sense. I have no idea if there's anything to take away from this. I'm just venting out some frustrations, I guess. Some frustrations with myself and how things have been. Because, like I said, it's not even just that I'm sad anymore. Like, I was sad for a little bit, but now I'm just fucking pissed. Like, seriously, it's like most of the time I am just actively angry and upset. Because the world that I live in is a complete nightmare, and no one should have to live in this. Like, I would be fascinated to know if in hundreds or thousands or however many years, you know, that our society as it is in 2022, like it's looked at in studies and seen as like this in like I don't know. I just wonder how future generations will see this one, basically. How they will see this generation of people that were never given a chance to succeed because everything was taken away from them before they even got to enjoy it. So like I said, I started working full time when I turned 20, and it amounted to absolutely nothing after 5 years. Literally nothing. And because I just feel so frustrated all the time, it's like it makes me not want to engage with anything else. Like, I don't want to watch an anime that I might enjoy because I'm just not in a position where I can enjoy things. I don't know, but I need to change, and I need to at least try to get back to where I was in like 2018, where I was growing and learning, and things were like okay, I guess. But I think if nothing else, I want to do what I want to do. I want to be making stuff. I want to make myself proud. I think that's just what I want because I've never felt proud of myself for like anything, because I have nothing to show for it. You know, I want to. Well, my brother-in-law started yelling at his daughter, so I lost my train of thought. I think I was talking about. What the fuck was I talking about? Who the fuck knows? I just want to I just want to have something to show for myself, I guess. You know, I've never been able to like feel accomplished in what I do. Like there are some things that I guess I'm a little bit satisfied with. Like, I think about the podcast that I'm on, the Tokyo Podfathers, now that it is what it's now called. And like, I started editing a few years ago, and you can really look at the progress that I've made, and I think that's cool, right? And it's not like I'm expecting to get anything out of this because it's like a thing I do for fun, but still, on my own, I really just need to be successful in some way. And if I'm not successful, then I at least need to just be making stuff so that I can feel like I've accomplished something by doing that. You know, because like my earliest videos, like all the stuff that I made in 2018, it's not good by any stretch of the imagination, or even stuff beyond that. Like the Isekai Quartet video that I made is fucking abysmal. I actually fucking hate that video. But I'm also glad that I made it because it was something that I felt at the time. And I just really wanted to express that at the time. So that's a good thing. Same with all those old videos. Like, they suck. They're ass. But at least I did them. Right? I need to be doing that again. And it would be nice, it would be cool if I was able to make money off of it, because clearly I don't make enough money now, even though I actually got a fairly large raise, so I'm actually at $15 an hour now. But guess what? Cost of living means that $15 isn't actually good anymore. That actually should be the minimum wage, because that's what I need to get by day to day. But, you know, like I said, it's a fucking miserable world. I would not wish anyone to be existing in this point of time. Future generations, good luck. I do not expect it to get any better for anyone. Especially not you. This was a fucking disaster of a video. You know, though, this video itself, I'm glad I made, because I just think about all these things, and I just needed to fucking say it. So if this made sense to anyone, great. If it didn't make sense, I'm sorry that I wasted so much of your time. I hope it wasn't... I hope you weren't actively focused on a lot of it, because if so, oof. My sincerest apologies. But... yeah, I spent too much time doing this, so I'm gonna do something else, finally, or something. My goal in 2022 is to be better and to do stuff, because if not, then I'm going to die, because I'm going to be too frustrated to continue living, or I'm going to die in an accident because I'm too tired to function properly as a human being, even though I'm fucking 26 years old. But that is another thing, actually, that I'm pissed off about. I'm 26 years old, and I think my hair already stopped growing, because I'm so stressed out about everything that my hair just doesn't grow anymore. I'm pretty sure it stopped, because it hasn't. It's like the same length it was in 2018. So, cool. That's a great note to end off with. Yeah. My hair, the thing that has physically defined me for the last ever, the thing everyone knows me for having the cool long hair, yeah, it just stopped. I have no, maybe it's because I've gotten old, I don't know, but maybe it's because I'm just so stressed all the time. I'd like to not be stressed anymore. I'd like to enjoy life. I'm going to try and enjoy life in 2022. I guess either do that or die trying. Is there anything else I need to think about? Anything else I need to get off my fucking chest? Like I said, if this was interesting or enjoyable to you, great. If not, I apologize.